What's that? Who there? Whoa.
If you had to write a startup manifesto with 5 of the most important key lessons or pitfalls to avoid when starting out, what would they be?
I think, I forget who said it, but it's always best to think of your startup at first as a project. When you start, rather than as a business, when you start thinking about your startup as a business, you're starting to think about all the things that go into a business, like accounting, lawyers, a board. But in reality, if you're just starting out, if you think about it as a project, you can stay very lightweight and nimble in how you approach things, and you can also walk away from things very easily. And I guess it goes to that kind of like ball of yarn concept. If you have a project, you can pursue what makes sense, right? So that's one principle that I think is super important. A second one I would say is be a historian, be a student of history for your business and your industry. There's a startup graveyard with that can be studied in detail, right? And it's oftentimes, if you are going to be successful, sometimes a lot of it is going to be luck, but you're probably not the first person to try, right? So why have previous attempts failed, or why aren't larger companies doing this? I think a lot of founders assume that everybody else is, incapable, incompetent, and stupid, and not going to have these brilliant ideas. But I think that's very rarely the case. And so being a student of history helps you understand where you fit into this larger context, and I think is critical to helping a startup and a founder navigate all the different strategic decisions that need to be made. Number 3, I would say, when hiring, right? Know what excellence looks like. Like I said before, because I think that is absolutely critical. Number 4, when it comes to customer acquisition, think about repeatable growth, because it can be easy to have kind of one-time hacks of growth, and sometimes that's what you need to get started. But you really want a repeatable growth engine, and that's what you should be focused on, rather than the shortcuts that might get you short blips of growth. And actually, I think crowdfunding is a great example of this. Crowdfunding is something that gives you a very nice spike in the beginning, but you can't build a business by always crowdfunding. And people have tried. But you build a business by providing a product that people come back to you repeatedly to use or to purchase, right? I would say another principle would be to always be learning from competitors, learning from customers, learning from people that you hire. If you're building a startup and you're doing it right, then you should, like, the learning curve is going to be steep along every single dimension. And you just need to be a studious learner and maintain that kind of humility that's required to always be a sponge.